Let's talk about the offensive side of the ball. What was
Yeah.
going on with Clemson's offense? It looked, in my opinion, it was a lackadaisical performance. They looked out of sync a lot of times. To allude to what you said in the beginning, a lot of procedural penalties, right? Like it seemed like a lack of focus almost on offense. And it felt like we were doing it to ourselves. Like it never felt like Boston College was really stopping our offense in this game
Yeah.
for the most part, outside of a few times. It kind of felt like we were just, we just weren't executing to the level that we've seen, kind of the past two games, especially. What do you think was going on with the offense?
Yeah, it was really weird. There were just some really strange. I mean, the players didn't execute that very well tonight, and just the play calling in general. There was just some head scratching moves, and decisions and situationally that we've. Yeah, I thought Clemson would kind of ironed out last week. I thought I was like, okay, well, in that second half of the NC State game, it felt like um, they were very good situationally, and it just seemed like this game it was just weird personnel decisions. Throwing screen passes to Ngata and
Yeah,
Inspector, guys that don't they don't get a whole lot of separation. They're not really rack guys. They're not going to get you a whole lot of yards after the catch.
no,
Just kind of weird. It felt like the run game it had no kind of identity. There was really no direction there other than that
yeah,
DJ, that huge DJ run in the fourth quarter.
right,
They contained the run game. Um, so it was just a really really mixed bag. The wide receivers, there's some contested balls. A lot of them weren't caught tonight. That
yeah,
probably should have. In a couple of them, you could argue were some pass interference calls that weren't that weren't called, but
absolutely.
yeah, just a really mixed bag. I thought the offensive line and pass protection did pretty well for the most part. They
I
had
think
a
so.
couple lapses in pass, and it wasn't really because the protection itself was dialed up correctly, but someone would just miss like Marcus Tate, like just
Yeah,
completely whiffing. Uh,
missed the block. Yeah,
yeah, just that blitz should have been picked up and
guy came free
Tate
on
just
that and
yeah
just it was yeah.
yeah just stuff like that. That was yeah, it was really frustrating.
Yeah,
But
it was definitely an inconsistent night on the offensive side of the ball. But again, a lot of bright spots. Some
do we need to talk?
questionable.
Do we need to talk about the? Well, speaking of the fourth quarter, the Cade Klubnik sighting that we had tonight was
Yeah, so let's talk about the Cade Klubnik sighting, right? Sighting. He has not been seen since what's the last game he was
Louisiana
seen
Tech
in? Louisiana Tech. Yeah. Okay.
when
Uh,
Dabo put him in a little early. They
mhm.
went three and out. Then Louisiana
Yes.
Tech scored, and then
Yeah.
Dabo had to put DJ back in.
So a couple back-to-back Cade sightings have happened, and people are saying, there's always an overreaction, right? Some people are saying he looks terrible. I don't think he looked good in either performance, but it was also weird that they brought him in for like two plays and then you never seen him again. What do you think was up with that?
Well, and they had him in, and then had DJ lined up at wideout. I'm like, why?
So was it just a package that they were
Yeah, it
running
was a
that
pack,
they have for him?
and it just didn't. I don't know. Well, and I do remember Clemson doing that some in 2020.
Yeah, they
I think in
did.
the Miami game actually they did it a couple of times in 2020.
Yeah, okay.
They had Trevor, they had DJ in and then Trevor lined up at wide receiver, but I don't see what the point is there, and I think the game was a little bit more in hand there when Clemson did it, but. In 2020. But it was just a strange, just decision. And then you put him, you run two plays that don't work. Cade, just, I don't know why he keeps trying to bounce outside when on those reads,
He loves to try to break it outside.
and there was nothing there. And when he probably should have, cut in and at least gotten a few yards. And then you just put him, you put DJ back in at quarterback on third down, and you just get enough. It was a really strange. sequence. And I was like, has Dabo not learned his lesson about doing that? I would have liked it if the game was more in hand, or if Clemson was in closer to BC territory, but they were a little backed up there. So I don't know. This whole game was just really just a huge whatever. Offensively. I mean, they scored 30, so it's not the
we put up 31 points.
Yeah,
we more than covered
Yeah.
the point spread. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good at the same time. It's just kind of, it's kind of a weird performance to kind of talk about.